All right, sorry I couldn't make it in today, guys. Got a sick kid at home, so here we go. Let's get through our lesson on arithmetic sequences and series. So this is a sequence in which the difference between consecutive terms is constant. So what that means is one term after the other, the amount that we add to each term to get to the next term is the same. We'll see it in a minute. This constant difference is also called the common difference and is denoted by D. And here is a very important formula to us. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times D. In this formula, the a sub n represents the nth or the unknown term. Sometimes we call that the last term. It's whatever term you want it to be. Then a sub 1, since it's a 1, that means it's the first term in our sequence. N stands for the number of the term. So this would be like, oh, I want the 10th term, then n would be 10, and so forth. D would be the common difference. Awesome. Okay, then to write the rule for an arithmetic sequence, you need, whoopsie, not to go back to the beginning, there we go. You absolutely need a sub 1 and D. So that's going to be important to us. We need a sub 1 and D if we're going to write the rule, which means write the equation. Okay, let's give it a try. Tell whether the sequence is arithmetic. So as I go to this, we figure out how do we get from one term to the next, specifically looking for adding or subtracting. If you can't see it right away on the first one, you can always skip and go to the next and then come back. But this would be add 5, add 5, add 5, add 5. Since the amount we're adding is the same every single time, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, plus 5, that's cool. Let's just go back there for a second. That's what we mean by arithmetic. It's an arithmetic sequence. All right, then we go to the next one. This one looks like I have plus 2, plus 4, plus 6. So we can definitely see a pattern, but since I'm not adding the same amount, this one says plus 2, plus 4, plus 6. It's not the same number. This one is not arithmetic. It still is a sequence. It still has a pattern. It's just not this type of sequence. So this arithmetic is just a special type. Arithmetic. There we go. Okay. Then here it looks like we are adding 4, adding 4, adding 6, adding 6. So this one, again, since that number is not the same every single time, this one is not arithmetic. All right. So let's go back to number 1 for a second, where we wrote arithmetic. One more thing, it doesn't ask us in the directions, but we should know that idea of common difference. That's how much we're adding. So in this problem, our D would be 5 because we're adding 5 every time. All right, let's look at writing a rule. So it says write a rule for the sequence, then find a sub 15. The very first thing is, what are the two things we have to know? We need a sub 1 and D. So a sub 1, that means first term, and D means common difference. Okay, so first term would be right here. There's a sub 1. And since we're getting used to this notation, this one, the next one would be a sub 2, a sub 3, a sub 4. It means first term, second term, third term, fourth term. But anyways, we want the first one, and we need to know the common difference. So that's where I'm going to check. It looks like I go from 4 to 9. I add 5. Then I could double check it. Yep, I still add 5. Yep, I still add 5. It's the same every time, so my common difference is 5. Then I'm going to go to the formula. Let's see. So go to the formula, and then we're going to plug that in. So let me write the formula first. Here we go. N minus 1 times d. Okay, so a sub n, that's what I'm trying to write my formula for. A sub 1 is 4 plus n, we don't know how many terms, so we're going to leave n as n. And then d, common difference, is 5. So this, when we go to simplify, is going to be a little bit weird. That 5 in the back, we're going to back distribute. So I get a sub n equals 4 plus 5n minus 5. Then combine like terms, 5n minus 1. So that's the 4 and the negative 5 make minus 1. And that's your rule. That's the first half of the question. Write the rule. Then it says find a sub 15. Well, if I want a sub 15, which means the 15th term, hopefully we learned from yesterday, if I want the 15th term, I'm going to plug in the number 15. So I'm going to take my formula, take that formula, and now we're going to plug in 15. So I would say a sub 15 equals 5 times 15 minus 1. So I get 75 minus 1, which is 74. On to the next one. Again, same basic idea here. We're trying to find the common, we're trying to write the rule, which means, again, we need a sub 1 and d. So a sub 1, that should be the easiest question ever. There it is, a sub 1, first term. And then common difference, it looks like this time I am subtracting 8. Subtracting 8, subtracting 8. So my common difference is negative 8. Okay, then I go to the formula and plug in those values that I found, the a sub 1 and the d. So a sub n equals, a sub 1 is 60 plus, we are not plugging in for n because we're just looking for a general formula. So we only plug in the a sub 1 and the d. All right, then negative 8. Then I do that weird back distributing again. So a sub n equals 60 minus 8n plus 8. So that's negative 8 times n is negative 8n. Negative 8 times negative 1 is positive 8. Then combine like terms. I get negative 8n plus 68. So that's the 60 plus the 8. And that is my first answer. That's the rule or the equation. Then I'm going to use it to find the 15th term again. A sub 15 means 15th term. So a sub 15 equals, not a sub 1, excuse me. Let's use our formula. That's why we have it. Okay, sorry. All right, so a sub 15, negative 8 times, plug in 15 plus 68. So negative 8 times 15, I don't know what that is off the top of my head. That is 120, I think, negative 120. Plus 68, I have 52. No. Yeah, that makes sense. Negative 52. Okay. I would double check my math there at the end. I did that pretty quickly. Just make sure that it is correct. And I would say any questions, but you can't ask me because I'm not there. So on to the next one. Use the given information to write a rule for the nth term of the sequence, the arithmetic sequence. So we are told this is an arithmetic sequence, so it's going to follow the rules and formulas we have so far. What's different here is that when we're writing the rule, we usually look for a sub 1 and d. But if you look at what they gave us, they only gave us d. We have to find a sub 1. So to do that, we're going to actually go back and use our formula. A sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. That's the formula. We're going to plug in what they did give us and see if we can find a sub 1. So this is what I want to know out of this equation. So first of all, they did give us a sub n. They gave us a different term other than the first one. They gave us the 19th term. So I'm going to say a sub 19. That's fine. And then equals a sub 1 I don't know, plus, then I have n, since n is the 19 in this problem, I'm going to say 19. That comes from here and what I plugged in here. Then, whoa, go back, honey. There we go. Okay, then minus 1. They did give me the common difference, d. And so here I have everything I need to find a sub 1 except the a sub 19. I can't have two variables, but they did tell me a sub 19 equals 48. So I'm going to plug in 48. I'm substituting or replacing. And then I'll do my back distribute here, and we get 48 equals a sub 1. Oh, I don't have to back distribute. What am I talking about? I'm sorry. We don't have to back distribute because we can just do order of operations there and simplify. 19 minus 1 is 18 times 3, and we can just do that quick math. 18 times 3, I get 54. Then to solve for a sub 1, subtract the 54. And I get negative 6 equals a sub 1. So now I have a sub 1, now I have d, so now I can write my rule. So here goes. I would say a sub n equals, my a sub 1 I found was negative 6 plus n minus 1, and then my d was 3. So remember, when you're writing the rule, the actual equation, you're only plugging in the a sub 1 and the d. So then I would back distribute. A sub n equals negative 6 plus 3n minus 3. A sub 1 equals negative, not negative 6, whoopsie, sorry, positive 3n. And combine those like terms, so I have minus 9. So there's your answer. All right, on to the next one. Same basic idea here. We're going to write the rule, and we are told that this is arithmetic, so we can use all of our arithmetic formulas, just the one there. So that formula, again, is a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. And we're writing the rule, so again, we need a sub 1 and d. And then I'm going to look at what I have. Again, they gave me d, but I don't know a sub 1, so I got to go find it. So with what they did give me, they gave me the 15th term. So I can say a sub 15. I don't know a sub 1. That's what I'm trying to find. Then plus the n, since it's the 15th term, n is 15 minus 1. And then d, common difference, is 12. Then just like last time, writing this as a sub 15 isn't helpful because I have two variables, but we know a sub 15 equals 107, so plug that in. And then this time I can simplify my 15 minus 1, that's 14, and then multiply it by 12. So I have 107 equals a sub 1 plus 168. Then subtract 168 from both sides. And what is that? Negative 61, I think. Awesome. And there's our a sub 1. So then we can take that. Now we know a sub 1. We can go back and actually write the rule. So when we are writing the rule, we only plug in the a sub 1 and the d. So negative 61 plus n minus 1. And then my d is 12. Here's where I'm going to do that back distributing. So a sub n equals negative 61 plus 12n minus 12. And then simplify. 12n combine like terms, I get negative 73. All right, and that would be your answer. Okay, I'm gonna stop there and then I'll refresh. There should be a second video to watch, so check that one out to finish the lesson.